Welcome to the Militia Gaming Community. I'm Trigger Militia, and this is the fourth video in a series I like to call You Are Using the Wrong Engine. In this video, I'm taking you on a deep dive into the engine offerings of the 911 Carrera RSR. Let's go! Alright, before we get into the video, a lot of YouTubers spend this time to ask for subs and likes, but I do things a little bit differently, and I want to use this time to thank you for simply clicking on my video. I'm sure there were plenty of other Need for Speed videos you could have watched, so thank you so much for watching mine. Also, let's once again raise a barks to all the subscribers. Thanks for watching another one of my videos, it means the world to me, seriously. Okay, the reason I make these engine videos is because when you go to swap the engine, the game doesn't allow you to compare the different engine options in a fully built state with all Ultimate Plus parts. Choosing an engine seems a bit random, even though you could look at the base stats and that kind of gives you an idea, but you still don't know for sure. Not only that, but the engines are hundreds of thousands of dollars, so how do you know which engine to start building your car with without wasting a bunch of money? Well, luckily I've done it all for you. I've bought every single engine for this RSR and proceeded to build each one with the highest tier parts possible, and then I repeatedly tested each engine on 2 different races and recorded the results. Just like the last engine video, I tested each engine with all Ultimate Plus parts, the dual turbo, and the 5x3 pound NOS option. I know that there's really no perfect way to test these engines. Some races are better for superchargers or single turbo setups, so keep that in mind, but honestly my tests are about as close as you're gonna get. Now I know someone will probably comment about me using NOS during these tests, so I balanced this by using the NOS on the exact same parts of each race every single time. Consistency and accuracy were definitely my top 2 goals, so I also ran each race 2 or more times to make sure that my driving skills weren't affecting the outcome too much. Again, like the other videos, I only recorded the time if I had a super clean race, and no, the background game footage is not my tests. Obviously, I'm all over the place in these clips. As of right now, the 911 Carrera RSR has 7 different motor options, 4 V6 options, and 3 flat 6 options. I figure a few of you might want to make your own comparisons, and since this data is not readily available in the game, here are the stats for each of the available RSR motors if you want to build them with all Ultimate Plus parts and the dual turbo. Now this might not be the fastest way to build them, but it's the way I've built them for the testing of these engines, and it should give you a better idea of the potential of each motor. Now just so you know, simply picking the engine with the highest potential horsepower has proven to be a bad strategy in this game. I've tested several cars that ended up being faster with a slightly lower horsepower engine. Like the last video in this series, I tested these engines on both Aerion and Aardvark. Each of these 2 courses offers something a little different, but they are pretty indicative of the types of races you will be racing throughout this game. Also, to help myself with the money situation of buying all of these motors, these 2 races pay pretty well, and they're really close to each other on the map, which makes racing them back to back easy and not as time consuming. At Aerion, the 282 horsepower 3.6 liter flat 6 and the 440 horsepower 3.5 liter V6 ran almost identical times, only being separated by 0.2 of a second. 0.2 of a second could be explained by driver error, so I'm willing to accept these times as a tie for the fastest on this course. The 2.9 liter V6 and the 306 horsepower 3.5 liter V6 were both about a full second behind these 2. Now because I feel like these videos might get a little stale over time, I've decided to also keep a running top 20 of the fastest times on this race against all of the other cars and engines that I've tested. So at Aerion, here are the top 20 fastest times I've been able to achieve with each car. I've tested the Audi R8, the Evo 9, the Regera, the Hurricane Spider, and the Carrera RSR, and as you can see from the leaderboard, the RSR is dominating the top spots. All 7 motors for the RSR are in the top 10. The Evo 9 has a super strong presence as well, with 6 of its 8 motors making the top 20, and the Regera and the R8 sort of are rounding up things towards the bottom. Again, these cars are all tested the exact same way. They're built the same exact way with the same parts and raced on the same courses. The only variable I've changed is the engine itself. So this top 20 is going to be a running top 20 of all of the times that I can post on every car and every engine that I test. Now let's hop over to Aardvark. The clear favorite on this course was the 440 horsepower 3.5 liter V6. It ran a time more than 2 seconds faster than the second place engine at 4 minutes 29.6 seconds. There was a three-way tie for second place on this course between the 2.9 liter V6, the 3.6 liter flat 6, and the 306 horsepower 3.5 liter V6. So because the 440 horsepower 3.5 liter V6 ran a faster time on Aardvark and was tied for the fastest time on Aerion, I'm willing to officially crown it as the fastest engine for the RSR. Now, be careful when selecting your engine. There are two engines that are 3.5 liter V6s for this car. Make sure you're picking the one whose stock horsepower is 440. It can be kind of tricky when you're going to buy the new engine and you don't want to make a mistake and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars that you didn't intend to. So the 440 horsepower 3.5 liter V6 is the correct engine. Let's see where that ranks amongst the top 20 for Aardvark. It's actually number 1. Again, the RSR is dominating the field, taking the top 6 spots with the Evo 9 nipping at its heels. This RSR is honestly so fast. Keep in mind though that this list will change as I test more cars, and it doesn't include every car in the game. There might be a car out there that's faster than the RSR on either of these two courses, but for now it's the king. My goal is to test more cars and make more of these videos, so please don't hesitate to let me know which cars you would like me to test in the comments. I plan to do at least one engine video per week, as well as update you on any news that happens with the game in general. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Happy gaming and Trigger out.